The one remarkable thing about whatever part of the Everglades you're in, you see just amazing sights because it's so untouched by man. I mean, that place looks the same as it did 150 years ago. It's just an amazing place to spend a day. It's an adventure whether you cream the fish or you don't. It's just great seeing everything that you're able to see in a place like that.
There you go.
There's something good.
There you go. Oh, it looks like a redfish.
There you go.
That's a good one.
There you go. Look at the head shake on that sucker.
Ooh, big fish. Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh my God. Get there. Oh yeah, nice redfish. Nice.
Thought we'd try, the tide's starting to fall, Bernie. So I thought we had a big cold front come through and it dropped the water temp about 8-9 degrees.
Right.
And these flats, as they start to drain, all the little tributaries that feed them, all the little ditches and little channels and stuff, the fish will fall off in those, especially when it's cool.
You know, a few weeks back, Bernie Schultz called me, and he's been a longtime friend of mine. I've known Bernie probably 20 years. And anytime we get a little window to fish together, it kind of takes me back to when I began, you know, before I started guiding, going out and learning the waters with buddies, and those were some of my best memories. And whenever he comes down to go fishing, there's no pressure. We have a great camaraderie together, and he's a hell of a fisherman. So to watch the guy fish is always a thrill for me.
Little saltwater action before you go to the Bassmasters.
I like that. Mix it up a little bit. I'm a professional angler by trade, and that's what my tax return says. You know, I've been doing this for competitive bass fishing for 30 years. I fished the Bass Tour, the Bassmaster Elite Series. Although that's my job, and I enjoy my job, my true passion is inshore light tackle saltwater fishing. I like looking at the fish I'm trying to catch. I've had so many banner days with Rob. You know, I've caught slams with him on the ocean side with bonefish, permit, and tarpon, and slams in the backcountry. He's been a big part of my career in keeping the connection with saltwater. He's also been huge for the development of my kids, you know, getting them on the water and getting them their first snook and their first permit. You know, usually I'm on the road fishing competitively and I'm not able to take my kids, so we come down here in the winter and tarpon fish with Rob, and it's always rewarding. There you go.
There's something good.
There you go. Oh, it looks like a redfish?
Yep.
Pale.
Must have hit him on the head.
You know, Everglades National Park is a giant estuary. It's 1.3 million acres. A lot of that is marsh, Everglades type country where the freshwater drains and meets the salt. But another big portion of it is also Florida Bay, which is where the salt actually reaches the Gulf. And you have this giant bay. So Bernie was here for 2 days. We thought we might try something a little different on each day.
There we go. Not a giant redfish, but I'll take it. Look how blue his tail is. Buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's iridescent.
Yeah.
You get up close, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna release him in the back.
Away from the pelican.
Here we go.
Nice work. Here we go.
Kind of like a redfish.
A little bit like a redfish.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about this kind of fishing. You know, we sight fish so much, we know what we're targeting.
Yeah.
You know, when you're throwing in these ditches, that's a nice redfish. Good job. You never know what you're gonna catch.
That's right.
I think yours is bigger than mine. That's not cool.
That's not
You're
good.
not supposed to outfish your host.
All right. Well, he likes it under the boat, I know that.
Dang, good job, Bernie. Nice fish.
Yeah, that's
Good
a
job,
nice
man.
fish. Wasn't getting off.
That'll work. Good job, bud.
Thank you. That was worth the drive.
Absolutely.
There you go.
It's one of the most ancient forms of hide and seek known to man. And nobody knows how to play the fishing game better than the backcountry guides and offshore captains of the Florida Keys and Key West. Ready or not, here we come.
There's no espresso machine, no smiling barista, just you and an axe. You're welcome to a hot cup of comfort, but you gotta serve yourself.
The Seahunter is brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. Seahunter boats, indestructible, unsinkable. Yeti coolers, built for the wild. Yamaha outboards. Wet Sounds, the ultimate sound machine for your boat. Quantum and Finor, inshore and offshore reels since 1933.
Well, that one's got some shoulders.
Acting like it. I think these fish are just cold, you know? I will let you grab them for me if you don't mind.
He's not ready yet. You know that, right?
There we go. Spunky in his cold water. You know, that moment when you guys are fishing for all that money has got to be.
You got him?
That's got to be.
Pretty anxious.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
can't imagine. It must be gut wrenching.
When they're big, it's really pretty anxious. I'd
Yeah.
say.
You know, I've fished some snook and redfish tournaments, but they're not for money like you guys are fishing for. You know, it's just for a little
No.
trophy.
Yeah.
And
Look how fat he is.
no, they're really healthy fish.
Yeah, that
Double spotter,
Yeah, he's thick.
matching double spotter. Thank you, buddy. Most places that you fish in the salt water are very, very tide dependent. You know, whether the fish are biting or not biting. Florida Bay is super tide dependent. You know, it's not a place you go and say, I'm gonna go trout fishing today if you've never been there and expect to catch them, or a redfish or a snook. It takes years of knowledge to figure out that the tide at this particular location is where you need to be to catch a fish. And it's just local knowledge. Oh, there's something.
Got there.
Oh no, looked like a trout. Yeah, we don't catch those giant trout here like they do other places. We catch plenty this size.
Right, right.
Come on, buddy. There we go. They are such pretty fish. Looks like
Yeah, they
they're
are.
painted, you know?
Yeah, airbrush.
Yeah. Big yellow mouth. Usually when you catch one somewhere, you catch 10. There we go. When you're fishing out front or in Florida Bay, around all these flats, especially when you get a cold snap, often the fish fall off the really shallow flats, but they don't go far. They just fall off into these little runoffs that are 2-3 foot deep, 4 or 5 feet deep, that kind of run their pattern up into these little ditches. So we thought that, or we hoped that because of the cooler weather, these fish had fallen off in these ditches, and we'd spend our time with the bay boat just easing our way up these ditches as far as we could get and see if the fish were hanging out. There we go.
Found the nursery.
A little better trout there. And that hole just before it?
That sand spot?
Yeah. There you go.
That's a good one.
There
too.
you go. Look at the head shake on that sucker. You know when it's a good one. It's just it's such a different feel.
It is a different bite.
Coolest thing about that is he was right where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, you called that one all the way.
Good job, bud.
That was you. All I did was put it where you told me to.
There you go.
A lot
That's a
better
real
fish
trout.
here. Nice one. Thank you, Rob.
Good job, buddy. The one remarkable thing about whatever part of the Everglades you're in, you see just amazing sights because it's so untouched by man. I mean, that place looks the same as it did 150 years ago. It's just an amazing place to spend a day. It's an adventure, whether you cream the fish or you don't. It's just great seeing everything that you're able to see in a place like that. You know, I know you came down to fish in the Keys, but Mother Nature is not exactly cooperating. And you know what? That's the nice thing about where we live here in South Florida. You can be in the middle Keys and it's just a short drive up to the Glades to put it in the backcountry. It's not a big deal.
Great option, yeah.
The first day was pretty relaxed, no pressure involved. We just went to bend the rod and see what we could catch. But Bernie and I are both kind of competitive. Even though we're not competing against each other, we're kind of competing against the fish always. And day two, we got a little more serious. We wanted to try and catch something big, especially a snook or a redfish. You got a fish?
I got something.
Hey. First cast?
Ladyfish.
That's a start. Something's biting.
It's a fish catching day today.
Fishing is called fishing for a reason. It's not called catching. And regardless of how good you think the conditions are and everything else, it doesn't always happen no matter how skilled or knowledgeable you are. I mean, we got there in the morning, we both looked at each other and say, man, cloud cover,
a little bit of wind, we're gonna crush them. The morning for hours, I mean, I don't know how many, maybe 2 or 3 hours, we fished our butts off without a bite. I mean, just a little bite here and there from miscellaneous stuff, but the day from that point forward went to be a challenge. It's us against the fish now. I mean, they're not cooperating, but we're gonna make something happen just out of perseverance. Oh, big fish. Oh, you're kidding me.
God, dog. Broke it off.
Drop the power pole. That was a snook.
It acted like a snook.
There's nothing else that would have blown up in here like that. Dang, that's bad luck.
You know, sometimes, you know, whether you're bass fishing or you're fishing on the coast, you have the conditions that everything looks really favorable. You think the fish are gonna be chomping, and then suddenly it starts stretching out and there's just a long period of no activity. You just have to keep in your mind that you're eliminating water, and sooner or later you're gonna put yourself where the fish are, and when you do, they're probably gonna be grouped up. Oh my God. Get there. Oh yeah, nice redfish. Nice.
You can walk through these woods, and if you go slowly and are observant, you see things and find things that are unbelievable. Other people are visiting a place that's exciting or dangerous or mysterious or cold or hot or wet or dry. I don't care. That's just where I'm supposed to be.
It's one of the most ancient forms of hide and seek known to man. And nobody knows how to play the fishing game better than the backcountry guides and offshore captains of the Florida Keys and Key West. Ready or not, here we come.
The Seahunter is brought to you by the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. Seahunter boats, indestructible, unsinkable. Yeti coolers, built for the wild. Garmin will take you there. Florida Keys Outfitters for all your fly fishing needs. Best Fab. Sometimes in this scenario, when you're hitting spots and they're not producing, you start fishing faster, so you can cover more and more water, but then you get a bite. That's the time to slow down and really pick that little bay apart or pick that shoreline apart.
This one have grass too?
Yes.
Oh my God. Get there. Oh yeah, nice redfish. Nice.
Put the pole down.
Well, he wanted it. These are aggressive fish up here.
Oh. Come on, sucker. Down in that grass.
Yeah, they're good at that.
Bring them in with a little salad. Look how coppery he is.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish there.
He's just too fat to put your hand around.
Like a brand new penny.
Man, I've lost them many times when they get you in that grass. You know,
Yeah.
they use it to unhook themselves.
Nice. Hold that thing up. That's beautiful. Let me get a pic. He's so pretty. Let me get a picture of him. I know you caught a million redfish, but that one just is gorgeous. All right, here we go. This fish has got beautiful color.
Man, that is a beautiful redfish, Bernie.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Just so dang dark and penny-like.
I think I got a good picture of him too.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy. Oh, there he goes.
He kicked right out of your hand. He's good to go. Nice.
Come on, man.
I know, I need to play
Maybe
catch
you need
up.
to put a plug on.
I do. I think you're right. When you're going fishing in a place like the Everglades, it's massive. It's overwhelming. You know, it's a labyrinth of waterways, bays and creeks and channels, and just so easy to get lost in. It's reassuring to be with a guy like Rob. I mean, he knows it like the back of his hand, and he learned it before there was GPS. And he knows the place inside out, and he knows where to be at a given tide or a given wind direction or under a certain light condition. You know, it's neat watching him operate in his arena.
Snook and redfish inhabit all these waters. I mean, they're on the Atlantic, they're in the Gulf, they're in the Everglades. But all those places you fish for them a little bit different. There's a different technique involved. They're kind of a structure-oriented fish, so they like to be around structure. It allows them to ambush bait. They're both ambush type predators. In the Everglades, especially in the backcountry, it's critical that you cast ahead of the boat so the fish haven't felt you yet, and that you hit every little nook and cranny. Sometimes it requires a cast within an inch of the trees to be able to get a reaction from the fish. Our goal, you know, throughout the day was to hit as many of those ambush-style bays as we could. And eventually, you know, we hoped that it would pay off. There he is.
Oh my God.
There he is.
Nice fish, Rob.
Put the anchor down.
Can I do anything?
No, you're good, bud. Just pray he stays on.
That's what we came for right there.
Well, that's a good fish on this little rod.
You get him?
I might let you help me with that one. Just watch those hooks, bud. Don't forget the gill plates, too. Whew. That feels good.
Finally.
Look at that bad boy. That's good stuff there, dog.
Got him, bud. Nice job.
How about that?
Nice job.
That's a great fish, man.
Well,
Great fish.
we worked hard for him.
Oh,
Finally got the reward.
dang. That was worth the ride for me.
I love it. I love
Oh,
it,
yeah.
man. It's just special. It's a special fish, special place.
Yeah. You know what? It's always when you least expect it.
Yeah.
There he goes, Bernie.
Awesome.
Oh,
Nice job.
we needed that sucker.
Yeah, that was good.
That was all right, man.
For it.
I was praying the whole time. Kept coming up and doing those head shakes. I'm like, please. You know, sometimes they throw the plug.
He was pegged though.
Yeah, he was,
He
but-
had 2 barbs on each hook buried in him, so
Yeah.
he wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, I've
You
just
don't
had.
know that until you get him in.
That's the thing. Until you grab him, you never know if he's going to come off or stay on.
Yeah, that was awesome. Nice work.
Thanks, brother.
You know, a day of fishing is not always about, you know, how many fish you catch or how many numbers you end up with at the end of the day. It often is just you're digging hard with, you know, persevering, casting, trying your best. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get this giant bite. And you just, it's so rewarding. It's almost more rewarding than catching a fish every cast. To make 1,000 casts to catch one great fish is, to me, something I'll never forget.